Hi, everybody. I wanted to come on and do a quick video about ways to find affordable counseling. I've had some questions and comments about how to do this, especially with the COVID-19 crisis that we're currently facing. Some of you may be laid off or may have lost your jobs due to this situation. So I want to offer some hope and encouragement, first of all, and wanted to remind you all that this season will not last forever. Okay, hopefully this will get sorted out very soon and things will be back to normal very soon. But if that is the case and you are looking for work or you're trying to find affordable ways to find counseling and therapy, I will talk about that in a moment. But first, I want to talk about if you are still employed and covered through your insurance. You should definitely check with your insurance first, okay? You can always call the 800 number on your insurance card, or you can go online and get a list of providers. You want a list of providers who are in your geographic area, okay? You need to find people that are local, and you also need to try to find somebody who works specifically with your situation. So whether you're trying to find somebody who is going to help you reduce anxiety or help you minimize your depressive symptoms, whatever the case may be, just try to find someone who can specialize in that particular area. And if you are using your insurance, just remember that you will still be required most of the time to provide a copay. Another thing you can do is ask your human resource department if there is an employee assistance program. That is usually called EAP. Now, the EAP is a work-based program and it offers free and confidential counseling, okay? So it's usually for employees and it can range from issues with personal situations or work-related situations, whatever the case may be. Just talk to your human resource office about that and see if there is an EAP program that is offered through your company. Now let's talk about sliding fee scale therapy. A lot of therapists offer sliding fee scales. A lot of people don't know this, but that just means the amount that you pay is based on how much you can specifically afford, okay? The therapist is going to ask you some questions about things like your income, expenses, your household size, and you may have to provide some documentation about like your income or expenses and things like that. But it's a really great way to find therapy that you can afford. Now, not all therapists offer sliding fee services, so it's important to contact each therapist that you want to work with and ask and inquire whether or not they can provide that specific service for you. Along the same line, some therapists offer certain specials or discounts during certain times. I know right now, especially with everything that's happening with COVID-19, some therapists are more willing to work around financial circumstances. But again, you would just have to reach out to each therapist and ask whether they are offering any specials at this time. I know here in Texas, the Texas Health and Human Services has launched a totally free and confidential support line for those who are experiencing any type of anxiety or stress or emotional challenges due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So what you can do is call a toll-free number that is 833-986-1919, or you can find out a little bit more information on the Texas Health and Human Services website. A lot of interns or graduate students offer lower rates than fully licensed therapists. Therapists and counselors typically have to accrue a certain number of therapy hours before they can become fully licensed to practice in their state. So those still seeking to fulfill those requirements typically are trying to see as many clients as they can, and in doing so, they tend to see their clients at a lower rate than most fully licensed therapists. So you can also just, contact each intern. A lot of them are on the Psychology Today website. A lot of them work with certain graduate schools and things like that. If you're not looking to find specific counselors and you just want to have some relief just for a short period of time, there's a ton of wellness apps like Calm and Headspace. You can also try self-help books or certain podcasts. There's a bunch of TED Talks on YouTube. If you're a college or a university student, there are a lot of free therapists that work within certain schools and universities, even high schools. If you're still in high school, you can always go and talk to your school counselor to see what kind of resources that they have. In my last video, I discussed ways for searching for local mental health authorities. You can still do that. You definitely want to search for local mental health authorities as well, because most of the time they either accept insurance or they also work on a sliding fee scale. You would just have to do that search for local mental health authorities in your area to see how they can further assist you. A lot of nonprofit organizations offer discounted mental health services. It's usually based on a person's income, okay? These services just really range from center to center, but they include things like free assessments, some family, individual therapy, and also medication management sometimes. So you would just need to do a search to see what nonprofits around your area provide any type of free counseling or discounted therapy services for you. A lot of the times, local churches or religious organizations or congregations tend to have counseling programs or counseling ministries within their church. So just talk to your preacher, pastor, or priest about your specific needs and see if your church can offer any type of therapy services, or sometimes they just take a small donation, or hey, if you ask, certain churches may be willing to pay for your therapy for free. It just really depends, and it never hurts to ask, right? Some support groups are typically free or at least more affordable than the typical therapy. There's tons of support groups out there for any type of issue that you may have. You can learn and find more out about support groups by visiting NAMI. That's the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They provide all kinds of searches for all different types of issues or whatever it is. You may be experiencing anger, alcoholism, substance abuse, bipolar disorder, whatever your issues are, there's usually a support group to help you with that. And lastly, and probably most importantly, you really need to reevaluate your expenses during this time. A lot of people don't hesitate when it comes to making a regular doctor's appointment. Think about it. If you're in a lot of physical pain, you're not going to hesitate to go straight to the ER. So why not treat your mental health the same way? If you're experiencing any type of mental stress, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call for help and ask for specific resources. Again, it never hurts to ask for sliding fee scales, for discounted rates, for specials. You just have to make that initial call. You have to reach out. And don't let financial constraints be the reason that you're not seeking services, okay? A lot of therapists and a lot of support groups will work around your financial needs, especially during times like this. A lot of therapists are very understanding in what's going on. So don't hesitate to make that initial first call, okay? If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the chat box. And thank you again for watching. Have a good one.